Tonight or what?
Yeah, we are gonna party.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hey, Lashy Kids and Driving Mutants. Let me do my sound check. Can you hear me? While I'm doing sound check, let me go into the comments. Oh. Matter of fact, I almost forgot to do this. Shout out to the Movie Maniac. Hold on, let me retweet my tweet. And see, it just told me to do that with my channel name. So I'll do that right quick on my other account. Okay, there it is. Retweet. Can't type today. Here we go. Okay. Thanks again, the Movie Maniac. Okay, that's him. Hey, Basic Halloween Queen. I'm glad you're back because I forgot to mention last week I said for everyone to go follow her on her Instagram, and I neglected to mention also her YouTube channel, which I just started watching. She's got some great content on there. She just reviewed The Black Phone, and I also saved to watch later a review that she's just done not too long ago. I think it's of Abby and what was the other movie? It was Sugar Hill. I think it was Sugar Hill and Abby. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I saved those. If I haven't watched it already, I might have watched it already and commented. My mind is like, my memory is terrible, but I definitely recommend those videos as well as whatever else she has coming up. She also has some Halloween decorating videos on there, which is really cool to see. Marty says, Pimp Tweet Ahoy. I always appreciate you, Marty. Thank you so much. You don't know how much I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well in the heat. I was seeing the news stories about the heat wave in the UK and the fires out there. So hopefully things are going well, because I noticed that on a news report that said some places are over 104 degrees and a lot of areas don't have air conditioning. Jay is here from Hood Podcast. He says, hey, with the sunglasses on. Shout out to Hood Podcast. We just recently talked about that first episode. Well, two of us watched the first episode of Resident Evil, and two of us binged the whole series. So if you want to see a good review on Resident Evil, the Netflix series, go over to Hood Podcast and check us out, because we had a good time doing that. Capri is in the house. He says, hey, Lady Shasha, how are you, Capri? Tony T says hello to everybody. Tony Man 100 says, sup, folks and people and folks. Donna just being real. Shout out to Donna. She says, hey, Shasha and horror buffs. And I love that she put the fingernail polish in the lipstick, because that would be me. But I know I've been lacking lately. I'm going to get back into giving y'all some more looks. Hey, Lordran says, hey, Lady Shasha and everyone. Basically, Autumn Queen is saying hello, and Tony says, hey, Lordran and Donna. Okay, just everybody saying hello to each other, which I appreciate. Bob, welcome back. We missed you. I think we didn't see you last week. I hope everything's going okay. Bob says, I'm going to make a lot of jokes about the old director of Jeepers Creepers, and it is a pedo a lot. I'm fine with that, because, excuse my language, but fuck him. I mean, he made an awesome horror movie, but he's a creeper, which is probably why the movie is so good, because he actually is a real life creeper. But Halloween says, yes, you're right. So it was Abby and Sugar Hill, which classic movies. 104? That's a regular day here, LOL. Not quite. We're still in the 90s in Orlando. Although you can't tell by looking at me, because, you know, I have anemia, so I'm always cold. Even when it's not cold, like I literally have a sweatshirt on. K&M Lover says, hey, y'all. So let's get into, we got one more before we get into the trailers. At Bob, I'm ready for it. We can go back and forth. Oh, yeah, you and Tony Man are going to be making puns and jokes about old dude from Jeepers Creepers for days. There was another movie he made. What was it called? Clown House. I have not watched it, but I heard that there's a lot of like creepy stuff in there regarding the children, that it stars two little boys. I guess they're being terrorized by clowns, and like there's a lot of scenes with them in their underwears and stuff. It's just it's real creepy. I haven't watched it. I'm just going off of the trailer that I saw for it many years ago, and I've seen some clips on YouTube about how creepy that joint was. All right, so let me pull up the video. Okay, let's see. Let me write official trailer, because it's pulling up all kind of other trailer 2022. Yeah, why is Entertainment Tonight coming up more than... I think this is the right one. One Media. Okay. When was this posted? Okay, I think it's the right one. All right, let me share the screen. Okay. Bob says clown house more like facet house. I hope that wasn't meant to be the other F word because we don't say that in here. The trash picture show says that is the one that Silver was caught for. Yes, I believe that is true. Gacy house. Okay, I'm glad that that was the correct thing that you were putting because I thought that you were trying to say something else. And K&M Lover says he made the movie Powder too about the bulkier albino boy. I remember Powder. I feel like I cried watching that movie, but I've never watched it again since the first time seeing it. I want to say it came out sometime in the 90s. Yeah. The bullied albino boy. Okay, correction. Working on a figure diorama, so we'll have you on in the background. No problem. I appreciate it. And look forward to seeing what your diorama turns out to be. Francis says, and shout out to Francis. Thank you for coming through. Greetings. Just watched the new Dreading video about the case of Victor Salva. Glad he's not involved with the new Jeepers Creepers. Yeah, and when you go back to the original movie, there's certain things that the Creeper does that it's like there's a scene where the Creeper literally reaches into a laundry basket and sniffs the drawers of I can't remember the actor's name, but I think the character's name was Derry. But yeah, he was showing himself, little bits of himself within the movie. But let's check out this trailer. I'm going to pause it like every 25 to 30 seconds. Tony Man says he cried at Powder too. Oh, I think it jumped forward. He has the same body type of him, fat and gross. And Tony Man says, what was the real horror movie about the chick at the party that everyone thought was real? I want to watch it. I just watched the Poughkeepsie tapes again. Horror movie about a girl at a party. Oh, it wasn't I know what you're talking about. On TikTok, the babies thought it was a real movie, but it's a found footage film. Oh my gosh, what was the name of it? It was about this girl that went abducted. Hold on, let me find it because it's gonna. Yeah, I did speed it up, Tony Man. That's gonna bug me because you asked me that question. Let me look it up. Megan is Missing. That's the name of the movie. Yeah, for a time period, the youngins on TikTok thought that Megan is Missing was a documentary or a real film. They didn't know, or maybe they were trolling, but it seemed that they didn't realize that was just a found footage horror movie and that it wasn't real. And they were really freaked out by it because a lot of them watched it in the middle of the night and it's available for free on YouTube. So just the availability of it and the time period that they watched it at night. I'm sure if I was 13, it would have freaked me out. All right, so let's get into this trailer. And by the way, Tony Man, instead of speeding it up, I think I accidentally slowed it down. But either way, it's not going at the regular pace. Francis says, so it's like Blair Witch for millennials. I would love to talk about my experience with Blair Witch because it's very much a moment in time. Okay, let me stop talking. Come on, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. What do we think so far? Sorry the music sounds like that. That's what I have to do to avoid getting dinged for copyright. So I know the music sounds weird, but that's what we have to do. Francis says, same, such a great movie going experience. Just had to be there during the hype. Yes. Oh, the one thing I would correct is instead of millennials, I would say Blair Witch for Gen Zs. But for anyone who's younger watching, a lot of us experienced Blair Witch as the first viral phenomenon, because I remember being, on the computer and stumbling across posts about the Blair Witch that led me to the website to read about the Blair Witch. So before the movie came out, we had at least 6 months of these internet drops that were like in forums, chat rooms. Like they did an excellent job of just posting this stuff and making it look like, oh, this is just a story that was untold about Burkittsville. So we're reading these things and thinking, oh, is this real? Because the way the websites looked and it was very documentary like in the way they're written. And so then it builds up a certain thing. So when you go to see the movie, you feel, I don't know. It's like priming you. It's priming you for the movie. And it's one of those things that I don't know whether they'd be able to recreate that. So he says, this is like Kong versus Godzilla and we're all going to win in the end. Tony T says they're saying in the new Halloween film, it was her imagination for the first 2 films, and in the third, it's the real part. Oh, give me a break. I don't know if I like that. Gen Z, my bad. Yep. Bob says Megan is missing. Scaring them is good. It could get them to be more safe online. Kind of. That is true. That is true. I remember them talking about it in the found footage documentary on Shudder. I have to watch that. I have that saved to my watch list. Tommy says, if you remember, the 3 were interacting online, and after the movie dropped, they disappeared. Yeah, they did. They did it on purpose, so that it would look like they were missing for real. Francis says, my sister and I hyped ourselves up so much for Blair Witch. LOL, my nieces could never have the same watching experience with that. That is this real hype to go with it. Yeah. And also you've seen at this point, we've seen so many derivative works that the same thing wouldn't work on them. That's what I was saying last week about The Exorcist. You have a whole generation of people that said The Exorcist isn't scary, but it's not scary because you've seen 30 to 50, possession films. So that takes something out of it. Whereas when that movie came out, that was like, I don't know whether it was the first possession film, but it was definitely the most impactful possession film of the 70s. And it started a whole trend. So many companies tried to copy and capture it. We saw an Italian version called Beyond the Door. We saw the black version called Abby. There was to this day, they're still trying to capture that Exorcist lightning. And before you guys ask, I don't know how to feel about the remake. New Halloween looks all right, but I try not to judge trailers too harshly. It's still pretty scary to me. Do you mean the Blair Witch Project, Capri? Tony Man says, sorry it went on the moors and didn't stay on the path. Back to the trailers. Exactly. Do y'all want me to play the rest of the trailer, or do you want me to leave it at this? Because sometimes, this trailer is only a minute and 28 seconds, so I guess I'll play it. Sometimes trailers show too much in a movie. But this one, I think because it's such a short trailer, we could probably get through it. So let's check it out.
Come and get me, motherfucker. No!
I don't know whether I want to watch that in IMAX. Dolby, yeah, but I don't know whether I want to watch it in IMAX. Tony T says, have you seen Rob Zombie's Munsters trailer for the film? There's no way that film cost $40 million. No, I haven't, but I should pull it up. Francis says, I haven't watched the Blair Witch remake, just no interest really. Same here. Capri says, The Exorcist is. Yes, The Exorcist is still scary to me. I don't care what anyone says, and it doesn't matter how many times I watch it. It still affects me. Bob says, all I want from the new Halloween is some good kills. I like David Gordon Green's TV shows a lot. He does dark and funny well. Which TV shows are David Gordon Green shows? Let me know, because I don't know offhand. Capri says, all these Halloween sequels are pointless. Well, the thing is, I feel like they are latching to, in my opinion, they're latching too hard on the Jamie Lee Curtis. I think that if they wanted to continue the mythos of Halloween, just have him attacking random teens again. Like, he doesn't have to keep going after Laurie. Like, what for? Freddy always finds new teens. Jason always finds new teens. Meanwhile, you have Michael Myers, like, attacking senior citizens. Like, this is not, I don't understand. I mean, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She is a phenomenal actress. She's an all-star. But I think they're relying too heavily on her. Hopefully, what they do, I mean, I hate to say it, but they should just have Michael kill her off right at the beginning of the movie. And then he continues his killing spree on new people. So it says, I watched 2 out of 3 at lunch. They didn't show as much as Halloween Kills. Francis says, I loved Blair Witch 2, though, and I know that's an unpopular opinion. They did something unique and unexpected with it, and I have to applaud that. Also, Fairuza Balk is a gothic goddess. I love Fairuza Balk. I love her from The Craft, and I love when she was in The Waterboy, when she was like, that ain't no prediction. That's what it's going to be. And also, I think she was in Return to Oz. It has been at least a good solid, I don't know how many years, maybe 20, since I've watched Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. I have to revisit it because I really don't remember much of what happened in it. So I have to revisit it before I say whether I like it or not, because I really can't remember. Bob says, Vice Principals, Eastbound and Down, and The Righteous Gemstones. Okay, the only one I've seen, I've seen a couple episodes of Eastbound and Down, but that's all I've seen of his shows, but I have to check them out. But I want to say, he said David Gordon Green. That is who also did Hatchet, right? I think they'll both die, and it'll finally be done. Autumn Wing Queen says the only way Michael will die is if she's dead. Like they have a psychic connection. And also, it's time for it to end. Yeah, they need to come up with a new slasher. Well, actually, they have, but they haven't given them so much to do. I kind of like the Chrome Skull. Like, if you ever seen any of the Laid to Rest Chrome Skull series, the kills are really, really great. It's just the writing isn't too tough, as far as the stories go. But bring back Chrome Skull. He was doing a good job. Sophia says, welcome to the stream, Sophia. Is this just like the Jason and Freddy movies where each sequel promises to be the last? Oh, yeah. Friday the 13th is promised to be the last since, I want to say, did part 4 come out in 1984 or 1985? That was the final chapter. It was in the 80s. And then we had another Jason Goes to Hell in the 90s. Then we had Freddy Goes to Hell. I don't think, did we ever have we had the Curse of Michael Myers, but I don't think we had any final. No, because we had Resurrection. There was H2O, then Resurrection, then the Rob Zombie ones, I think. And then we got the other one just named Halloween. And then, yeah. Francis says, she's hilarious in The Waterboy. Yes. One of the funniest movies. I love The Waterboy. Bring back Busta Rhymes. Oh, I in my reviews for Halloween, I think the one where I reviewed Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection, I did a sidebar about all of the rappers that were in 90s horror movies, because I happened to notice that during that review, LL Cool J was in H2O and then Busta Rhymes was in Resurrection. And we also talked about Rod Digger being in 13 Ghosts, and we talked about Ice Cube being in Anaconda and Ghost of Mars, and there's others. Ice-T being in Leprechaun in the Hood. Coolio was in Pterodactyl. There was like a whole time period from the 90s to the early 2000s where if they could find a rapper to be in a horror movie, they got one. And Was it Curly Girl that said it, or was it B Movie Badness? I was on a live stream with them a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about Eminem being in Hip Hop Witch. Tony T says, I always thought if they were going to reboot the Halloween series, just go to the way John Carpenter wanted in the beginning and make it an anthology. Yeah, you could do that. Tony says she was also in American History X for a few. Oh. New season of What We Do in the Shadows started. Going to dive into that tonight. It is so good. I just started watching. I watched the first 4 episodes. Like I thought season 3 was good. Season 4, like the show keeps getting progressively better. And I love how it's written. Like there's so many things that are woven into the comedy. You have visual comedy, you have snappy dialogue, you have comedy that is reflective of different horror movies, but then you also have little like hip hop references, and then you also have like pop cultural references. It's a really, really super well written show, and I love Laszlo, and he's gotten me to say, how about we fuck that? Like I just love Laszlo's whole like his manner of being, and Colin has grown on me. At first, I didn't really love the energy vampire, but he's really, really grown on me. And the doll. I love the doll. Bob says, I am 90% certain that some of the shots from Blair Witch 2 are inspired by Teddy Cut Follies. I'm not familiar with Teddy Cut Follies. Donna says, Michael will last forever. Victor Crowley needs some more love. Yes, he does. Bob says, it's not the Hatchet guy. I may have the name wrong, but it's the same guy as those shows he works with, Danny McBride. If this one makes as much as the last 2 did, we'll get more Halloweens. This is true. They will go based on box office. Jervis Horton. Hey, what's up, Jervis? Says Munsters should stay black and white. I don't like the bright colors. The background colors are cool, but not on the Munsters. Oh, that's right. I need to pull that up so we can watch that next. Halloween movies should go to their original. Oh, let me pull that on the screen. Halloween movies should go to their original idea of becoming anthology movies, or at least make a TV series with such a concept. Michael Myers is not interesting enough for me. This is true. I stopped after Halloween 2 and liked Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween Kills. You mean you've never seen the other Halloweens in between Halloween 2? So you didn't see Season of the Witch? you didn't see H2O or Resurrection? Oh, we're gonna have to marathon those one day. Canon Lover says Fairuza was in American History X as the Noxie girlfriend of Edward Norton's character. I think that's yep. That's what Tony Mann also said. I want to see the killer Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. Has that trailer dropped yet, or is it just? I've just seen stills. I wonder if the trailer's up. Yes, LOL. Buster should show up out of the blue and kill Myers once and for all with another karate kick. I like shorter vampire, whatever his name is. That's Laszlo. The taller one, what is his name? Something the Merciless. Why can't I remember his name? Nandor the Merciless. And Guillermo and Nadja. I would love to see a reboot of the Ghoulies film. Yes, that's something that they could improve upon. Bring those back. I love What We Do in the Shadows. I was afraid I wouldn't like the show because I love the movie cast so much, but it's so damn good. Yes. I think it's also because it has the same producer. Taika Waititi is still a major producer in it, which means he still has a lot to say. So I think that's what keeps the TV show congruent with the movie. And he shows up on several episodes. Gringo Life says, when your sister's releasing a movie? I don't know. I keep telling her to write the script. Okay, Bob says, Titty Cut Follies is a documentary about Asylum. Do you mean like the movie production company Asylum? The Munsters looks weird. Not sure what to think, honestly. It's done by Ken Burns, like guy. Mhm. I omitted 3 for a reason. It sucked. It did not suck. We will argue until the day I die. Halloween 3 did not suck. The problem was that the audience was not prepared for it to be an anthology. Also, had that movie came out just called Season of the Witch and not related to Halloween at all, people would say it's a classic. Is Rob Zombie still working on his Blob movie? I don't know, but I feel like they keep giving him the wrong projects. He's the one that should have been remaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Bob says he's someone famous like Ken Burns, but where Ken Burns documentaries have a lot of voiceover, this guy just lets the camera sit and we see. Sounds very cool. The energy vampire laughed my ass off. Yes. Colin Robinson, that was his name. Last time Chris had to tell me because I couldn't remember his name for a second there. Francis says we all knew people like that. Oh, yeah, most definitely, especially if you've ever worked in insurance. Season of the Witch is great. Fight me. Thank you. Donna says Halloween 3 horrible. Okay, so we are 2 and 2 on Halloween 3. Wait, he's doing the Blob, but it already has one of the best remakes ever. That's like remaking The Thing. Exactly. And they failed at that when they tried to do that prequel to The Thing. I feel bad for that company that did all these practical effects, and then the producers decided to overlay their special effects overlay their practical effects with digital effects that were subpar. The fans' nostalgia sometimes hold us back. They were supposed to have been working on a Scarface movie, Back to the Future and Grease, but they got canceled when the fans complained for various reasons. All right, 3 versus 2. Halloween 3 is awesome. That's what Francis says. I fully agree with everything you said about Halloween 3. It shouldn't have been called Halloween 3 and people would have loved it. Exactly. A Gringo Life says, got to run, but I'll call this weekend Digging the Live. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Tony T says Halloween 3 will always be my favorite of the series after the original. Bob says no real one. The camera shows abuse, death, and a lot of malpractice. Oh, yeah. Those are very, very difficult to watch. That's why I really haven't watched any documentaries about asylums in the U.S. because the horror stories that happened in them. I believe that's why a lot of them are abandoned now. Like if you notice, they never repurpose them as regular hospitals or any other type of building. I shouldn't say never. That's hyperbole. They often don't repurpose them to serve, to the facilities to be used at all. They're usually abandoned. And I think that's because when you do such negative things in a place, I feel like there's a residual energy, not to mention the amount of people that died in those places, and it's probably super, super haunted. He's not doing the Blob anymore. It was canceled. Good. Capri says, I would have to give Halloween 3 a second try. I might like it after all. If you go into it not associating it with Halloween and just letting it be its own thing, I think it's more enjoyable. It's the letdown. It's what I said about The Howling 3. The first 2 Howling movies were straight like horror. Then you come out with The Howling 3, which is a comedy horror, and the audience is not prepared to switch gears from a straight horror film to a comedy horror film. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of trash The Howling 3. But I think if it was its own werewolf movie, like just call it Werewolves Down Under, it would be a classic. People would freaking love it because I think it's hilarious. All right, let me get to another trailer. I'm going to get back into these comments. Oh, wait, there's a few. I'm almost at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to finish the comments out first. Donna's laughing. Bob says, one of the through storyline seems to be a patient who doesn't want to eat, so they force feed him with a tube, and he dies from that. Oh. I like Halloween 3. The ending is dark and could have been darker. It was meant to have screams of the dead kids. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would have been super dark. Halloween 3 has that John Carpenter, Dean Cundey atmosphere that the other sequels lack. This is true. It still does have a certain atmosphere. And Sophia says, yep, I love Halloween 3, and Halloween is such a good name for an anthology series. Sadly, sometimes the fans ruin franchises like Obi-Wan series because it was woke, aka they cast a black female. Oh, yeah, I'm so sick of that. Like, if the existence of seeing a black person is woke, go the fuck back to sleep. Yeah, I'm not here for that at all. Let me pull up the Munsters trailer so I can see what everyone's talking about. And be forewarned, I'm not an original fan of the Munsters. I always preferred the Addams Family. So there's that already. So I was never, that's probably why I didn't watch the trailer, because I wasn't totally looking for it. Okay, it says there's 2 trailers here. One from a day ago, and trailer 2 is from 3 hours ago. All right, let's pull up the trailer from 1 day ago. Okay. Here we go.
Rob Zombie, the director of House of a Thousand Corpses, Halloween, and The Devil's Rejects, brings you the greatest love story ever told.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Because the brain of a super genius transplanted into the body of a perfect physical specimen.
I want a man that makes my blood run cold. A man that every time he enters my crypt, it's like a stake through my dead black heart.
I can whip the upper humpy down in the land.
Oh no, remember what happened last?
Okay, first off, somebody in the chat said that this supposedly cost $40 million. This looks like a YouTuber made this. I swear, if I could get 3 or 4 YouTubers together, we could have done this without $40 million. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay. Let me see some comments before I continue. Where did I leave off? Jervis says, on Halloween, do a show, Asylum show, in night vision. No, that sounds scary. Even though John Carpenter didn't direct it, his signature is all over it. Mm-hmm. Did he co-write it or write it? He might have written it. Like how Wes Craven wrote Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, but he didn't direct it. He just wrote the screenplay. And then a lot of his screenplay got rewritten during the process of filming. I heard the original screenplay is really, really good. Cabri said, I found Return of the Living Dead 2 was more of a straight-up comedy instead of a horror comedy film. Yes, it was. And it's one of my favorite, well, actually, Return of the Living Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time, like forever. Return of the Living Dead 2 was still funny, but not as funny as the original Return of the Living Dead. I just always picture the finger scene when a zombie head is biting him on the finger. Yeah, that was straight up comedy. But the thing is, those movies are technically not associated with the original Living Dead series at all. It's kind of like the change in tone from Texas Chainsaw 1 to Texas Chainsaw 2. 1 has such a different tone than Part 2, but Part 2 is meant to be over the top and kind of a parody of sequels. Yeah, I was not prepared for when I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I had no idea that it would be so tonally different. Didn't mean to click on that. There we go. On Halloween, I'll do a live ghost hunt in my haunted workplace, holding that creepy doll we found that one day. Yeah, you showed me a picture. It's that porcelain doll. It looks like it's haunted. Video share. I mean, look at the poster. It's just like the Breakfast Club poster, but with the Texas Chainsaw family. Yes. I remember that poster. Especially it takes me back to the video store. I like Munsters. The Addams Family is my favorite one. Mm-hmm. Same here. I like the Addams Family. The Munsters is okay, but as a kid, I just remember more gravitating to the Addams Family. Tony says, this is off topic, but Taika Waititi is making a new Star Wars film, and he offered Natalie Portman a role in his new film, and she had to tell him she was already in those films. Then he should not direct. Oh, I hate when I love Taika Waititi, but this is giving M. Night Shyamalan, like when he did The Last Airbender, but apparently didn't watch the series. I mean, he might say he did, but it doesn't feel like he watched the series. Donna's laughing. What else? Yep, that tend to be the trend now, the YouTube look. Yeah, but I'm not paying money to go to the movie theater to see this. If it's going to look like something from YouTube, put it on YouTube. Francis says, it was a rumor that it cost $40 million. Rob Zombie just talked about it. He's pulling that stuff that Tyler Perry did, because Tyler Perry had a movie, what was it called? A Fall from Grace, that was on Netflix, and he claims that it cost $40 million to make as well. And I'm like, where? I think these directors are paying themselves $39.9 million, and then the rest of the money goes into the actual production. It looks like it was shot in a cardboard box and paid for by Lemons. I'm going to let this play in the background while I read comments.
Last time?
He was battered.
I'm gonna go.
Jervis Horton says, more brains.
A queen. True love.
What exactly do you want?
Is Herman Munster in there?
First two comments say this looks like a parody. Yeah. At first, I thought I clicked on the wrong trailer. I thought I clicked on a fan-made trailer.
I understand if you don't feel the same. I'm just a regular gal living a boring, normal life.
If there's one thing I know, is that the rest of the world melted away as soon as you appeared in my life.
It seems Miss Lily is truly in love.
Okay, I don't like Herman Munster's voice. Like, that's not right at all. Get the screwdriver out of my brain. Yes, I remember her. That was my that was my scene. I love that quote from Return of the Living Dead 2.
Oh, come on, you know. And
Rob Zombie should have went with the way the Addams Family Values were directed. Those films from the 90s are so good. Yes.
Greetings from Transylvania. That's a strange way of saying hello.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to click on a second trailer for that. I'm so not interested. That's bad. Yeah, they referenced the movie Night of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead. Yes, they did, because there's a whole scene where they're talking about shooting it in the head, and the boy goes, "You mean the movie lied?" Because they're talking about what they learned from Night of the Living Dead. What I meant to say by it not being part of that series is that it does. Night of the Living Dead exists within the canon of Return of the Living Dead, but Return of the Living Dead is not a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Not an official sequel, anyways. Francis says, "LOL, very possible." Bob says it's straight to Netflix. That's as it should be. No one should be paying to see this in a movie theater. No. Tony Man says this looks like shit. It's a no for me, dog. in his Randy Jackson voice. Yeah, a Herman Munster impression isn't even too hard to pull off. Not sure what's going on there. I am glad that we are making Sophia smile. That makes me feel good. Because that's why my purpose of these live streams is to lighten a moment. Because we're all going, I keep saying over and over again, we're going through a collective mass traumatic event. So if we can laugh a little bit and have a little fun, I think it'll be good for us just psychologically. Hit that like button, boys and girls. Thank you, Francis. I always forget to say that. Will there ever be a Rob Zombie movie that doesn't star his wife, Sherry? Good question. He's about as bad as Homeboy that does the Resident Evil movies. Like, okay, we get it. You love your wives. They're okay, but everyone doesn't love them as much as you love them. It's not $40 million. It's Lemons. LOL, like Cricket from It's Always Sunny. Rob Zombie was a production assistant on Pee-wee's Playhouse. The film might become that. I enjoyed Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like, that's a firm part of my childhood. And Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie. Tell him Large Marge sent you. Rob Zombie has heart for nostalgic horror films, just like Tim Burton, but this film is bad. You know what? I would have rather seen Tim Burton do this, but then I remember what Tim Burton did to Dark Shadows, and I was like, that is unforgivable. The slime zombie was a great makeup job effect. Yes, he has a name. Tarman is what they called him on set. I keep picturing Miguel A. Nunez talking about Tarman, saying, "No, you can't go down there. There's a zombie. There's another one down there, and he's all black and slimy." Miguel A. Nunez is like an all-star for that movie. What podcast says, "Real talk." And speaking of traumatic events, let's get to Jeepers Creepers and Nope. Oh yeah, because I noticed I'm taking longer than I should, but I think there's a couple other trailers I might hit up even besides the Jeepers Creepers, but I'm definitely getting to Jeepers Creepers next. Tim Burton has not done a good film since Mars Attacks. Well, did Mars Attacks come out before or after The Nightmare Before Christmas? Because I enjoyed The Nightmare Before Christmas. A gringo lessons. Oh, I found you when I searched for the Nope trailer. You show up right next to it. Oh, that's great. The algorithm is finally working in my favor. All right, let me bring up the other the next trailer we're going to talk about is Jeepers Creepers Reborn. By the way, last week when we did a live stream and we watched a couple of trailers, I was fine, didn't have any issues with copyright. But you know what got me? After we talked about the orphan first kill, and I showed you that footage of the girl that it's truly based off of, TLC again. It's always actually Discovery Network's TLC. It's always them. So now I got to dispute that. Okay, let me get this queued up. Now I'm going to leave it at 125. Yeah. Okay, let's see a couple more. Let me get this like that and read a few more of these. I would like to see a Jeepers Creepers set in New York City. That would be interesting. He could drive like a garbage truck or something in the city and people wouldn't really notice him too tough. How iconic is Tarman Zombie, by the way? Best zombie ever, and makeup effects still holds up to this day. Tarman and Bud from Day of the Dead, they would make a great team. I would also say I would add the zombie that was on the table being examined, because I always picture like her spinal column moving around, and they actually added the extra little bit of, I don't know, what would you call it? The extra detail of the spinal fluid dripping out of her column as it's flailing around, and she's lifting her head up and biting at them. That was some great animatronic work. And the face actually kind of reminded me, I wonder if it's the same person. It might be Bob Keane. That's the name that's popping into my head, is Bob Keane. I think Bob Keane did the creature effects for Return of the Living Dead, and he might have also done the creature effects for Life Force. I could be mistaken, but the zombies look similar. That particular zombie looks similar in the face to the space vampire victims in Life Force. Donna says, when I first seen Jeepers Creepers, scared me. Love it. Part 2, Rock 2. Yes, I saw Jeepers Creepers in a movie theater, and I was creeped out driving home. It did creep me out the first time. And the second one, I always catch it on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it always trends. Every time Jeepers Creepers 2 plays on television, it always trends on Twitter, because it really is truly a good horror movie. Facts, Gringo. I just did the same, and she does. Bravo, Shosh. I'm so happy because that rarely happens for me. For instance, I'd like to see a Friday the 13th set in New York City for more than 20 minutes. Oh, I was about to say there was one, but yeah, they didn't make it to Manhattan. The Jason Takes Manhattan. He didn't get there. Well, actually, should call Jason Takes Toronto because I think, or was it Vancouver? It was either shot in Toronto or Vancouver. It wasn't even shot in New York, but it was only like the last 20 minutes that they actually make it there. Most of it is just on a boat or a cruise ship. So I mean, so I'll bust that. No, it's I'll bust it in the damn head. That's the line that you're looking for. Yeah, the Lady Zombies was fantastic too, and she explains the brains thing. Eating brains takes the pain away. Love it. Jason Takes Manhattan. Shake my head. Jervis says, and then Bob says, "I'm bummed I missed that. The orphan story is interesting. Even if I think they made it up, would be more likely to believe it if the movie had not come out first." Well, the thing is, if you watch the know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to my other older live streams and put timestamps in so that people can go back and they can find the exact part where we talk about that. That's what I'll do. I'll put the timestamps in for the live stream from last Friday, and you'll be able to go back in and see specifically when we talked about Orphan and the news story associated with it. There's actually an update on her. They interviewed that girl that maybe a 30-year-old woman. This film is done by Scream Media. Oh, it's going to be good. I'm glad to hear that because I'm not familiar with Scream Media. Tony Man says it was Vancouver. And have you reviewed? I have not reviewed Hardware, but it is on my list because that's a video store classic to me. All right, let's get into this trailer.
You ever heard of Creeper?
A local legend, right? The Creeper comes back every 23 years.
Then what? Can't believe I let you drag me to this.
This is the Coachella of cosplay.
It's time for our Creepers Reborn! A grand prize is an escape room for two. Creeper themed.
Come on, you two. Are you sure this is where we're supposed to be?
We'll be out there in no time.
Okay, already I have an issue. Jeepers Creepers is not a bottle film, and a creeper just hunting people on a house. I don't love the idea of this. I like the creeper out in the wild. It's scarier when he can just land on top of your car. Tony Man asks, didn't TLC ping you for playing that little ass chick rather than the doc? Yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't ping me for playing the short clip from the YouTube documentary. They dinged me for showing the 22-year-old lady that looks like she's 8 or 9 years old, as TLC does. You could play 2 seconds of a TLC clip and they always have to go through the motions of dinging you, and then you have to dispute it, and then they release it. But it's still like irritating. Tony Man says 23 years. There should be more technology that's shown. It should be like Texas Chainsaw. Well, the thing is, I think what they do with these movies is that these are probably different times of the day within that same time period of the 23 years. That's what I'm thinking. Otherwise, that's the only way it makes sense to me. No, not good. The third film was done by the same production company. Oh. So they got a new director, but it's the same production company. Dude has wings. What the F is he doing in a house? Exactly. Why would he be haunting these teens in a house? Like, this is not the type of movie that the Creeper is not this type of slasher. It's not Michael Myers. When they say the Creeper's coming back, it sounds like they're talking about the old director. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's watch a little bit more.
What the hell is that?
Oh,
It's coming.
Oh, it doesn't even look the same.
There's no way out.
Come on!
Oh, someone's going to snatch her through the wall. Just telegraph it. Snatch her. See? All right. Oh, it's replaying. Let me stop. I'm so disappointed because I want to enjoy it again without the original director getting any coin off of this. I don't want him to get any money off this. I want to be able to enjoy it, but it doesn't seem like they kept to the characteristics of the creeper. Tony Man says, I'd rather see the football player sunning on the roof of a bus. Yummy. Is the creeper based on a Jersey Devil legend? That's a good question. That's a good question. I should say, not a bad question, Bert, because since I keep quoting Return of the Living Dead tonight. A Gringo Life says, I'll pass. Yeah, this one, like, I want to watch it to review it for you guys, but I don't want to pay to see it. Jeepers Saw 2 Creepers. Tony Man says, I'll bootleg. Lorgen says, I'm fully disappointed, or I'm feeling disappointed. Jer says, how is he anything like the Jersey Devil? It's like the Bye Bye Man movie versus the book. The Bye Bye Man was a book? I didn't know that. I need to go look that up. Because that's the Bye Bye Man is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's so bad. It's so bad that it's almost good. Not as good as Wish Upon. Wish Upon is truly the so bad it's good of more recent horror movies. Wish Upon is just, it's a lot of fun for as bad as it is. It's the type of movie I definitely would have loved when I was 12 years old. Sophia says, same, bootleg it for me. Francis says, so they are in a creeper-themed haunted house and a creeper shows up, but wouldn't evidence of the creeper being a real thing exist at this point? He's in a police station in the first one. Yeah, this is true. I thought it was a statement, not a question, Jarvis. Know what they might have done? It just occurred to me what they might have done. They might have Hellraisered this. A lot of the Hellraiser sequels are other horror scripts they just shoehorn the Cenobites into. And that's what this feels like. This was a random horror script that they had sitting around. And they said, well, how do we shoehorn the creeper into it and make it a Jeepers Creepers movie? I bet you that's what they did. They Hellraisered us. Did I read that one? I'll read it again just in case. Bob says, I thought it was a statement, not a question, Jarvis. It would be like a Jeffrey Dahmer themed haunted house. Yeah. Tony said, T says, it'll be on Tubi soon. I'll wait. Yeah. It's a story from a president's vampire. It's a book of tales and stuff. Interesting. Tony Man says, I like the second Bye Bye Man titled Cock-a-Doodoo Poopy Me. Okay, you just made that up. You just made that up. Okay, what else is on the docket? There was another trailer I didn't put on the thumbnail for the video. It was another one that's coming out recently. Oh, I remember what it was. It was a movie called They Them, which I think is going to be either on Paramount Plus or Hulu. It's on some streaming service. Oh, it's on Peacock. It's going to be on Peacock. Okay, let's get into that one. It's pulling up. I know Jersey Devil has a horse head, but it's in the woods chasing people. Francis is laughing at Tony Man. There is a movie series that does have the Jersey Devil sort of in it. The Bad Ben series has it. Oh, I should play that trailer. After this one, I'm playing a Bad Ben trailer for you guys because you have to get into those movies. And they're on Tubi for free. And he has like several sequels. But let me get into They Them and then we'll do Bad Ben because that one. Go. Gringo Life says, wait, they made a pronoun horror movie? Bet it gets canceled. Yes, Jervis, located in the Pine Barrens of Jersey, close to where Bad Ben was. And then Sophie says, Bad Ben sounds interesting. Yeah, I will show it to you right after this one. Here you go.
It's a great day to be alive, isn't it?
As you see, this is from Blumhouse.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm guessing that some of you, you're not happy. Maybe you don't fit in. People make fun of you. Well, I can't make you straight, but you give us this week, and we might be able to help. Boys cabin.
Okay, so instead of it being a regular campground, it looks like it's one of those camps for what they call reversion therapy, which is some bullshit that they think they can turn gay people straight. Interesting premise. Let's see what else happens.
There, girls' cabin over there.
They use they, them pronouns, as in they can't believe they're at this camp.
I have zero interest in not being gay.
There's no judgments in this room.
Sometimes I wish I was invisible.
I would understand it a lot more if there was Bible thumping and queer bashing.
Do you even believe in any of this? Come in, please.
Do you think your parents are disappointed in you?
Sometimes.
So what do? You try to make yourself special. You become they.
Today, we're going to be exploring traditional gender roles. Look how long they've been doing this.
It's time to play.
This could get a lot worse.
Where's my killer?
We need to get out of here.
Haste.
Just enjoy the sunshine and work on your tan.
They/them. Streaming only on Peacock.
Oh, it's literally called they/them, like the double entendre. Instead of just they, them, it's they/them. Okay, I get it. I don't think it's as clever as whoever wrote it thought it was going to be, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Wait, I think I skipped some. Okay, Bob says, I hope they, them is good. Bacon needs a win after the darkness, and you should not have come. I didn't see You Should Not Have Come, but I do remember the trailer for that. The Darkness was, did I review The Darkness? I believe I did. I think it was complete trash. Really, really bad. Bad Ben is awesome, a folk hero director. Yes. What the F, camp straight. A little too on the nose, not so subtle. Yeah, it misses. You need to do, if you're going to do this type of movies, number one, maybe get people in the writer's room that are part of that community, and then maybe you can make it more nuanced. Because this just seems like they're trying to go for what they were trying to go for in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre did it better. Or just go back and watch some 80s horror. There's so much subversiveness and social commentary in both 80s and 70s horror. Go back and watch those. Even within Return of the Living Dead, I keep bringing it up because apparently that's the theme of tonight. There was social commentary in Return of the Living Dead. I showed you the scene last week where they said, we need to call somebody. Who? Call the police. No, I don't want to call the police. They're just going to kick our ass. That's social commentary. Wait, what is this? I bet there's a twist. I bet Angela shows up as a killer. Oh, nah, I wouldn't want them to do that. I like Sleepaway Camp. This is giving me Sleepaway Camp 3 vibes, but not as good as Sleepaway Camp 3. I don't think I've seen Sleepaway Camp 3. I think I've only seen the first 2, so I really need to revisit that series. And I think there's a 4th movie as well. I was about to say this was direct to Netflix series, and I wasn't wrong. It's a Peacock film. No complaints here since it's not to be judged like a studio production films. I agree. I also don't judge direct-to-stream movies the same way as like big budget studio films. I noticed that Blumhouse has their hands everywhere. They have Blumhouse movies that they've released direct to Amazon Prime, direct to Peacock, and also direct to Hulu. So what's his name? Jason Blum is like, he's like, how his whole thing is, why not both? Gringo's Life says, I guess Peacock really needs content. Yeah. Do you think it's a slasher or some kind of Wicker Man cult stuff going on? That's what was difficult to see, because at first I thought that it was, when they showed it was a camp, I thought it was automatically going to be a slasher, but then they showed the therapist acting all weird, and that made it seem more culty. Hey, King Needs Score is here. He says, good day. Good day to you. How have you been? Sophia says, yes, old school horror films were the master of social commentary, very intelligently written and not so in your face. Yeah, nowadays they write social commentary as if they are insulting the intelligence of the audience. I promise you we're not that stupid. I promise you we can pick up on nuances and subtlety. Yeah, I heard a they-them joke before this movie. How do non-binary samurais kill people? They slash them. Like someone heard a joke and wrote a movie around it. Yeah. This Peacock has a pretty deep catalog of horror, just not a lot of originals. What were y'all looking at? We just now were watching the trailer for They / Them. And we're about to get into, I'm glad you're here, King, because you have to check out these Bad Ben movies. Let me pull up the trailer for that. Jervis says, New York City is being attacked by sharks this summer. When is the next Sharknado film coming? That I do not know. I'm doing well, just sitting in the warehouse before work. I hope it's cool in there, because sometimes warehouse work can get pretty hot if they don't have good ventilation. All right, let me pull up the trailer for Bad Ben. The director of the Bad Ben series is named Nigel Bach. And what's cool about Nigel is he's also the writer, the star. I think he's also the editor, and he probably was a stand-in for Judge Reinhold. But he shoots these movies in his house. It was actually his parents' house that he had built for them. I believe he was in the military for some number of years, and then he saved up money, and he built this house out in New Jersey for his parents. And he had installed all these cameras in the house to look after his elderly mother, because I think she might have been starting to suffer from, well, no, she wasn't suffering anything. He was worried that she might fall and no one would be there to see if she fell. So he installed all these cameras around the house, and I guess it was the impetus for him to make this movie using just his cameras and his cell phone. Okay, before I hit play, Sophia says, if they toned it down a little bit, there's a good movie there, but they are too in your face with it and really obvious to the point. It takes you away from the horror aspect. And that's the thing. The thing that I don't so much complain about it being too in your face, except for the fact that when you do that, it's lazy writing. There's a way that you can write things that it doesn't feel... It's the only thing I can think to call it is lazy. It's lazy. You're not writing characters that are full characters. You're writing archetypes and stereotypes. You're not writing full characters, and that doesn't work out well. Fran says, it's Shark Week, isn't it? Oh, you're right. It probably is Shark Week. I know it's towards the end of July is Shark Week. Kind of like the songs in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Double entendres rule. King says, oh, with Kevin Bacon? LOL, that's titled pretty great. But yeah. Oops, it scrolled up. But yeah, the warehouse is miserably hot tonight. Finna go on strike. Ingor, you evil genius, Lorgen says. Last time I watched Shark Week content, one of the new guys from Jackass got his hand nearly bit off by a shark after trying to jump over them on a water ski. Not sure they can top that. Leave the sharks alone. King says, they then feels like it's like 5 years. Yeah. And it occurred to me there's something else that they need to do. Get younger writers. If you want, I feel like a lot of people are losing touch with how Generation Z talks and interacts. Go and hire writers that are young. The older Gen Zs now are about 24 years old. Hire them to co-write so that they can flesh out the nuances of their generation. Because who better to speak for the generation than them? Tony C says there's a sequel coming out for the Meg next year. As long as it's, Bob says, it's as long as it's not as bad as the last Black Christmas. I didn't see all of it. I walked in, somebody was already watching it, so I saw the end of the new Black Christmas, and I it wasn't fun. It's not you. The original Black Christmas had a lot to say. Like the fact that there was a character who was arguing with her boyfriend over having an abortion. Like that's a pretty big thing to have in a movie. And then the fact that she's the final girl. Like you don't. Anyways, let me move on. Tony says, I work in a warehouse as well here in Florida with metal walls and roof. It's about 90 out and it's 125 inside the warehouse. You guys got to be careful. Stay hydrated. That should be illegal. These type of things should be illegal in an industrialized, so-called industrialized country. Sophia says, I think the word is forced. Thank you. Yes, that is it. That is it. The old films had political commentary, but it was in such a clever way that it didn't take from the movie's experience. Exactly. King Gore says, swear. And they always want to act like it's impossible to get an area, at least a fan, yet want everything tip top when they're being audited. Rant over. Oh, no, I hear you. I hear you. The new Black Christmas feels like you walked into the wrong lecture room in a university. Yeah. There's ways that you can include these different issues in a movie and not make it written more smartly. The word less forced, what Sophia said. Yeah. Tony says, we need more writers like Rod Serling. He wrote the best shows and films. Exactly. All right, let me show you Bad Ben. Oh, I didn't put it up on a screen. Here we go.
There it is. Not bad for a sheriff's sale, huh?
Why would they take their personal belongings with them? Stop it. Are you here right now? Not your home. Well, I got news for you. It is my home.
Now this is Nigel Bach. I don't know whether it's Bach or Batch. His channel. If I go to his channel, there's like multiple Bad Ben movies. Let me see. Does he have a playlist of the trailers? Yes. View full playlist. Yeah. So you have. Are they in order? There we go, so we could see it better. All right, let me check the comments. Okay, King says, Black Christmas 2019, a top 10 worst horror of all time. Mm-hmm. From what I saw, the last half an hour that I saw, I was not impressed. Tony Man says, what about the trailer that I suggested, Amityville in space? Joke or fall? Or I think you mean fail. I can look into that trailer. I think I remember seeing that. I don't know whether it's real or not because there's been so many there's over 30 Amityville movies. There's only about, I want to say there's 11 that are official Amityville movies. And then there's a whole host of other movies that put Amityville within their title. So it could be real. Bob says, LOL, I love that response. Screw your ghost in my house. Oh yeah. You're going to love his character of Tom Riley is so hilarious. Rod Serling was the master of political commentary. He did it in such a way that you didn't even notice and you were immersed in the film and then tried to look more deeply into the episodes. Exactly. Francis says, wait, I saw the game Grumps playing a game called Bad Ben. Dude sounded like this guy. Yes, they are related. There is a video game based off the Bad Ben movies. Jervis says, I just saw a shadow person in my living room watching this. Don't look them in the eyes. King says, a YouTuber made this? This ain't half bad. Those classic effects executed well. I don't know whether he considered himself a YouTuber because mostly what's on his channel is just the trailers for his movies. But they've been pretty good so far that I've watched them. Yes, there's a game based off this, Francis says. He just Googled it. I have to watch this movie. He says, no, I meant the movie called Fall. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Thank God that 80s made a ton of horror films. Otherwise, I will not have much to see that is good in the years to come. I agree. 80s is a beautiful decade for horror. 70s as well. Tony Man says that Francis, dude, you're going to love them. Bob says, I saw a timeline on the first 6 movies. They're on my watch list. Yeah, I believe at least the first 7 or 8 are on Tubi. Yeah, on his channel, he has here how to install a Nest Power connector to your thermostat, how to level audio in Premiere Pro, he's added other YouTubers' videos to his playlist here, and then how to edit green screen footage. That's cool. So he doesn't have them in order on here. Why? Here's the first one is just the Bad Ben trailer, and the second movie is called Steelmanville Road, which I can't remember that one. I'm gonna play them. F it, I'm gonna play these trailers.
You might be a little confused as to where we are, but this is our new house. Surprise! The things that I'm hearing in the house, I'm hearing footsteps, Matt, and the door is slamming upstairs, and the light is going on and off, and Matt, I'm hearing voices.
Yeah, I know. I know what you think you're hearing. It's fine.
Mom? This is not your home! Oh!
What are you doing?
They're outside.
Who?
Outside, there's voices outside.
I'm so sorry. I never should have left you alone. I'm sorry.
I'm pregnant.
Matt, when you come home. Listen, man. Let's go over all the footage. All of the footage. You guys need to get out of this house right now.
I have the baby.
Where's the baby?
I hope you don't mind. I named him Ben.
Rachel, where's the baby?
Ben.
Now, the interesting thing that happened with the Steelmanville Road movie, less people liked it because the Tom Riley character was not in it. So then he ended up coming back for Bad Ben 3 with it just being him again. I think it's just him again.
No, please. No.
Is anyone around?
No, let's just get this over with, all right?
All right, you scared?
Yeah, I'm a little scared, all right?
All right, it's gonna be cool. All right. I'm going in.
Ah, there you are.
I think you're gonna like what you're gonna see.
No way.
Yeah.
Tom Riley.
Where the hell is it?
I'm surprised you agreed to do this, frankly.
I'm doing this because you guys are paying me.
Would you be willing to go into the house?
Tom Riley going into the house on Steelmanville Road.
Oh my God, something told me we just moved past him. Did you get that?
Stop it.
It's at least 20 degrees cooler in this room. We can all feel it.
What the is that?
Son
you.
Oh God! Oh my God! What the f*** is that?
I won't play all the trailers, but there's one more that I like. What was it called? I'll read the rest of the titles to you. There's Bad Ben, The Way In. The one I just played for you was Badder Ben trailer. Bad Ben, The Mandela Effect. The Crescent Moon Clown. Wait, there's a trailer missing. Where's the one where he was the Uber driver? There's a Bad Ben movie where he was an Uber driver. Hold on. Let me find the name of it. Oh, it's A Haunted Highway. How do I get this? Close that one. There we go. This is the one where he was a Uber driver. Wait, let me get caught up on these because I don't want to get too far behind in reading these. The thing, Amityville, is that it's public domain. A guy literally made a joke movie called Amityville Gas Chamber, which was him silently reading a book and farting. France says, sounds better than Amityville About the Clock. That one was called It's About Time, wasn't it? Have you seen E-Demon on Tubi? It's great and a must watch. I want to say I reviewed E-Demon. I think if you look in my back catalog on YouTube, I'm pretty sure I reviewed E-Demon. Schmitty, LOL. Amityville in Space is real. It's produced by oh God. You know how I feel about Wild Eye. I really don't like them. I feel like they have the worst movies. As soon as I see Wild Eye, I'm like, oh, this is going to be some crap. With such gems as Devil's Well, House on Elm Lake, and Pretty Fine Things. Wow, an Amityville movie not made by Dustin Ferguson or Mark Polonia. Wow. Long tee and boxer shorts get me all the time. Amityville in Space, although it's officially now in the ranks with other horror movies that went to space. Amityville Vibrators thing. Yes, I did look that up because I was going through like different series of what I can cover on my channel, and of course I still want to do the Hellraiser series, even though I don't want to revisit some of the sequels because they're bullshit. And I looked up Amityville because I figured, oh well, I can watch the Amityvilles until I found out there's like 32 of them, and I was like, well, maybe not. I'd have to dedicate a whole month to just Amityville. King says, it's exactly what you think it is. LOL, Amityville is goated. Sophia's laughing. All right, let me show you this trailer for Bad Ben Haunted Highway. Is it Haunted Highway? Yeah, the Haunted Highway. Notice, this is number 7. I think he's made 10 of these movies altogether.
Gary? Yeah? Hi, I'm Tom. I'm your drop-you-off driver. David? Yeah. Hi, I'm Tom. I'm your...
Yeah, sorry, I said Uber. He doesn't drive for Uber. He drives for Drop You Off.
Drop-you-off driver. I'm your drop-you-off driver. I'm your drop-you-off driver. So where am I taking you?
352 Steelmanville Road. Say that again. 352 Steelmanville Road.
So where am I taking you?
352 Steelmanville Road.
352 Steelmanville Road. Hello? Lionel? Gary? David? I'm meeting a girl.
What did he tell you?
Got her the keys.
Looking for this?
The other thing that I enjoy watching these Bad Bin movies is watching Nigel Bach learn more special effects. Like if you watch the first movie and you keep watching the sequels, it's like he learns more and more like After Effects tricks. Tony T says the only good film Wild Eye released was the film they never made. It's a 70s TV film called Crawlspace. I'm looking for the 70s one. I saw there's two Crawlspace movies. One of them is from the 80s and it stars Klaus Kinski. And then there's a Crawlspace TV movie from the 70s that I heard is really, really good. King Gore says, if you make an Amityville series vid, I'll match you. We'll suffer together. Okay, I'm glad. I don't want to do it alone. I feel like it's too big of an undertaking to do alone. Yeah, King, 15 each. Yeah. Lorjan says, Josh, you better not watch all those Amityville movies. I'm going to bust you in the head in your Miguel A. Nunez voice. Jervis Horton says, LOL, he'll wait, LOL of the name drop you off and chop you up. Francis, the true horror of Amityville is the franchise. Bob says, if you want a cheat sheet, Josh from Movie Times just did a 2-hour-long video on all of them so far. Oh, I have to check that out. You said, Josh from Movie Timelines. Hold on, let me screen capture that because I probably won't remember when I get up the stream what the name of the channel was. Okay. Got it. Lorjan. Yeah, she's laughing at Lorjan. Even the vibrator one, it's just Suicide Girls doing some soft core Guareno. Is this guy like the Neil Breen of horror? That's a good comparison. But I enjoy his movies more than Neil Breen. Like I can't make it through a Neil Breen movie. Those are really, unless I'm rewatching it. Like unless I'm rewatching with commentary. Like I can watch Red Letter Media talk about Neil Breen movies, but I can't just sit and watch a Neil Breen movie without commentary. Tony T says the TV film Crawlspace is on YouTube for free. Wild Eye released a DVD a while back, but it costs around $500. I'm gonna put this on the screen, but I don't know if I can read it aloud because of the words. Y'all can read it. I'm not trying to get suppressed by YouTube. Jervis says, is Netflix All of Us Dead coming back? I think they are gonna do a second season. And I actually have a surprise for y'all because I will be covering All of Us Are Dead. And I'll just say this. I have a cosplay planned for it. It's hanging in my closet. I hope y'all like it. I'm going to do a cosplay for All of Us Are Dead. King Gore says there's a lot of movies like that. Death Escort Service is ridiculous. There's also like one called The Killer Condom. I'm going to look up that Crawlspace trailer from the 70s. Oh no! Before I do that, I'd be remiss if I don't talk about the last thing that was on the thumbnail because it'll feel like false advertisement if I don't talk about that. So last thing on my thumbnail, what was the third movie I had on there? Nope. I think there's a final trailer for Nope. And I'm not 100% sure why I will get to see it or not on Friday coming because my youngest sister is in town and she is competing in a pageant representing the city of New Haven. And the preliminary is tomorrow and then the final is on Friday. So I'm going to be spending those 2 days with her. If I'm able to stream, it'll most likely be on Friday morning. But if not, I probably won't be streaming again until next week sometime. All right, this says, well, that says 1 month ago. The final trailer was out 1 month ago. I might have already seen that. Well, my memory is such that it will feel like I saw it. I'm watching it again for the first time, so we'll do that. Check these settings here for the speed. Okay, that's good. Couple more comments. Yeah, he's better than Breen. He's a creep. Nigel seems cool. See, I don't know anything about Breen's like personal life. I only just now learned about him through Red Letter Media. So it says, as I'm watching the stream, I'm watching a barbed wire wrestling match. Did you know that The Rock is hosting Shark Week? No, I did not know that. I might have actually watched wrestling if I knew The Rock was back. Everything I know from Star Trek, I learned from Mike and Rich. Mike is like the ultimate Star Trek fan. Like he knows stuff. Did you? I don't know if you saw. They did one time where they had a game show where Rich was asking the questions and Mike and Jay were answering. And of course, Jay doesn't know anything about Star Trek, so it was funny. And we were all waiting for the moment where Jay would accidentally answer a Star Trek question with a Star Wars reference, and he did. I forget what the question and answer was, but Jay actually answered a Star Trek question with a Star Wars answer. Nope, getting some great early reviews so far. Can't wait to see Peel hater reviews drop. Oh yeah, every time. Us Nope is Damn next. That would be a great title for a movie. Damn. All right, let's check this out. This 3 minutes, that might show too much of the movie. This is by Universal. Universal Pictures, why do you have 6 million subscribers and no video tags? This is why, but your SEO score is 5, but your video came up first. That tells me that this tag stuff is just for us lowly plebes. We have to do tags. But if you're a big movie company, you don't have to do none of that. All right, let's go.
What if I told you that today you'll leave here different?
Pops! Pops!
I'm talking to you.
Bro, what'd you see?
Something above the clouds. That's big.
How big?
Big.
You think whatever killed Pops is out there?
Right here, you are gonna witness an absolute.
Hold up, is Pops played by old dude that was from They Live in The Thing? That's what it looked like. I forget that actor's name. Someone in the chat put that actor's name, but I think that's the same actor from The Thing and They Live.
Spectacle.
So what happens next?
You ready?
Are you ready?
Here we go.
This could be an opportunity. I'm talking rich and famous.
Okay, now that music gonna get me messed up. So I gotta mute this. Okay, let me see if the music has stopped.
That cloud. They moved an inch.
It's aliens. They're just waiting for the perfect time to shove metal probes up our asses.
I'll be rooting for you.
I hate that they do that.
Piss them off.
Yeah, they repainted your house. You gotta come back. You ready? We got some work to do.
Hold on. Fuck it.
Nope. I'm gonna mount. I'll get the shot.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Hey, Sheila, tell me, what did you see in that cloud?
It's not what you think.
No!
They took him. They took him all.
I gotta get out this house. I'm trying to save you. My brother is out there.
I don't think they took you. They don't look at him.
Look.
This dream you're chasing, where you end up at the top of the mountain, it's the one you never wake up from.
You'll be getting a call from my supervisor asking how my service was.
5 stars, Angel. 5 stars.
All right, so they did show us a spaceship. They showed us a spaceship, so we know. I still feel like the area that they have this in, does it remind anybody else of Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Thank you, Bob. That was right. Keith David. That's who that looks like. Oh, I skipped some. Let me go back up here. Francis says, fun fact, H.R. Geiger designed the look of the killer condom in the movie. Oh, well, that makes sense because a lot of his work is phallic anyways. Donna says, Shasha and chat, good night. Catch you next time, Horror Rocks. Yes, thank you so much for coming through, Donna. I appreciate you. Tony C says, I remember that one. Then they did a David Lynch questionnaire and Jay still lost to Mike. I think the one thing that Jay would beat Mike in is probably what's the movie? There's a movie that Jay really, really likes from the 80s. The Last Dragon. I bet you Jay could beat Mike in Last Dragon questions. He says, yeah. Tony Man says, did you see The Rock's daughter wrestling in WWE? I did not see. I saw the announcement that she had become a wrestler, but I did not see her wrestling in WWE. Yeah, Bob says Keith. Yeah, I read that one. Keith David. This one reminds me of an episode of Star Trek review for Nope. You may like to review a movie called House on Tombstone Hill. Let me take a screen capture of that. And I will look it up. Okay, got it. Even better, it's a trauma movie. Oh, okay, I like trauma. No problem. Not yet. It is Keith David, who was also in... Yes, he was in Dead Presidents. King says, best picture. I can't wait to see it. I'm hoping that I have time to see it on Friday, but I might not have time to see it till Saturday or Sunday. All right, let me look up that... What are y'all's some of y'all told me your predictions already that people are going to complain that some Jordan Peele himself says it's probably more controversial than the last two movies he made. So it'll be very interesting to see that. I'm excited for that. But I want to see that trailer for Crawlspace 1972. That's what comes up. Sorry, my computer is slow. Okay, that looks like that can't be a trailer. It's 5 minutes long. It says trailer. It's been up for 12 years, so I guess we'll be all right watching it.
All finished down there?
Yeah, it's all right. I put in a new coil.
Would you like to have dinner with us?
Sure. Why not? Would you lend it to me?
Well,
Please?
would you promise to bring it back?
Yeah. Sure.
Why did you give it to him?
Why did you ask him to dinner?
You ought to make sure that crawl space is closed up, you know.
There's a razor and some other things in the crawl space, including my Blake edition. Nothing.
So this dude is just living in their crawl space?
He just poked his finger in the mince and then went for the apple.
You just don't do something like that.
Tell him to go.
Well, suppose he refused.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I feel like this is going to reveal too much of the movie and I want to watch it. Now, we compare that to Crawl Space from, it was like 1980 something. I guess it's 86. Let me read some comments while my slow computer is pulling these up. Some of the trailers back in the day gave up the whole movie. Some of the new trailers give up the whole movie. Got to get to work. Have fun, y'all. You have fun too. Well, it's work, so it's probably not going to be fun, but be safe. Thank you so much for coming through, King. I always appreciate you. Crawlspace is a great TV film. It gets sad at the end. Oh, Sophia is saying good night. You have a good night too, Sophia. Thank you so much for coming through. I will be finishing up within the next 20 minutes anyhow. Take care, Francis says. And Bob says, you should add me on Letterboxd. I have some new ratings up there of Earth versus the Spider 2001 and Behind the Door 2022. Is your name the same on Letterboxd? Is it also Bob Gunter? Is that Grandpa from Christmas Vacation? I don't remember. I don't remember who played the grandfather in Christmas Vacation. I only remember Chevy Chase, and I remember they switched out the kids. Oh, wait, that might have been European Vacation. I know the different vacation movies. It's always Chevy Chase, but I think his kids were played by like 4 different actors. The Arizona Spider-Man. Mr. Dan Harrow, hey. He says, hello, that's a great made-for-TV movie. Same director as Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Ah, okay. I remember Don't Be Afraid of Dark. The trailer for Fall shows nothing, but I still want to watch it. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Tony Man. After this, I'll pull up the trailer for Fall. Someone living in your house without your knowledge or someone hiding in your place like BTK are the scariest things ever. Yes. And that's the main reason why I don't Airbnb. There's no guarantee that you're there alone. Yes, it's the same on Letterboxd. Okay, I will look for you. Let me make a note to myself. Okay. They switch the kids all the time. Every vacation movie has a different set of kids. It's a running gag. All right, let's check out this 1986 trailer for the other movie called Crawlspace. That would be a good double feature review, reviewing both Crawlspaces.
Someone is watching. Someone is waiting. Waiting until you're alone.
Oh.
Waiting until you're trapped.
That rat got
Waiting
me.
until you're terrified. You can try to run. You can try to hide. But there is really only one way out. Crawlspace.
What the hell? I do not remember that.
Between the wall and hell. Crawlspace.
Okay, first of all, this should be called air duct. Because that's not a crawl space, that's an air duct. Let me see. Francis says different ages too. Bob says there's a really creepy shot story about a guy living in a leather chair. Oh, wow. Klaus Kinski was the father of Anastasia. Do you mean the singer Anastasia? Lordran says, I've been watching zombie strippers for 16 hours straight. My hand hurts. Well, back to work. Oh, okay. Trailer voice on point. Yes, I missed the trailer voice. I RIP to him. Laugh my ass off. WTF. When Full Moon did Puppet Master, they took Klaus Kinski look as the look for Blade. You're right. When you look at that puppet, it does look like Klaus Kinski. Thank you, Tony T. That's a good piece of trivia. That's so true when you look at that puppet. Klaus Kinski was the father of Natasha Kinski from Cat People. Oh, okay. Yes, that's another movie I need to watch as an adult. I saw that at the drive-in when I was like in maybe first grade. I've never seen it as an adult, and I fell asleep on it. So, I mean, I was a little kid. I have to rewatch that. And the original. I think the original Cat People is from like the 1930s. Says he was reportedly a nightmare to work with on a film. Yes. I've read that Klaus Kinski is a nightmare to work with on every film. Anyone remember who the first son was in the first Vacation? No Googling. I want to say it was Michael Tom. He had 3 names. Oh God. He had 3, it's like 3 names, but one of them was Michael. He had blonde hair, I want to say, and he was in The Breakfast Club. He played the nerd kid in The Breakfast Club. What was his name? Mr. Dan says the director of this movie has a video called Let's Kill Kinski about how the crew wanted to murder Kinski during the making of the film. That sounds like an interesting documentary. I need to look that one up because I kind of like those type of documentaries. Klaus Kinski is a madman. Have you seen that documentary about him that Werner Herzog made? Dude is bonkers. I think you and Mr. Dan are probably talking about the same documentary. Werner had to direct him at gunpoint once. Jeez. Didn't someone actually have a hit put out on Klaus Kinski? I think there's even a documentary on that. I think all 3 of you are talking about the same documentary. Yeah, the weird science kid. Thank you, Anthony Michael Hall. I knew he had 3 names. Bob got it, Jervis got it, Anthony Michael Hall, and Tony Man got it, Anthony Michael Hall. Evil Dies Tonight. Yeah, that's right. That's him. Also in Halloween Kills. Dan answered the question, and Francis says Werner Doc is called My Best Friend. Okay, so there's 2 documentaries. You know that you are a top flight a-hole when people make multiple documentaries about you. Now let me find that movie Tony Man was talking about. Fall. Okay, let's look for the trailer for Fall. (2022). This one's from 7 or 8 days ago. Oh, I did see this. I totally forgot about it. I'll play it anyways, but I don't know. This is not my style. I will say that it reminded me of, what was that movie with the people on the ski lift? There was a movie where these people were stuck on a ski lift, and I can't remember the name of it, but that's what this movie reminds me of. Oh. That's why I never do that stuff.
A horrible thing happened to you. I just want you to be able to move on with your life.
Come here. It's coming up on a year. I have something that's planned, and I need a partner in crime. The B67 TV tower. I haven't climbed since Becky. If you don't confront your fears, you are always going to be afraid.
How about we don't?
Let's do it.
No.
Let's climb your stupid tower.
Oh, I'm so excited! Hey guys! Hi!
I was really ripped.
You're awesome. That is the Becky that we need for this trip.
I'm calling it. There's a new subgenre of horror films that I'm going to call You Should Have Stayed Your Ass at Home films. That's the new subgenre. You should have stayed your ass at home and none of this would happen. All right, let's see. Hold on. Tony Man says 16 viewers strong. Let's go. Yeah, that's a new high for me. K&M Lover says Jason Lively, brother of Robin from Teen Witch, was Rusty in European Vacation. Mm-hmm. The natives on the set of Fitzcarraldo offered to kill him too. Wow. He also played Nosferatu in a remake in the 70s. Yes. Joe Bob recently played that remake of Nosferatu, the 70s version, on The Last Drive-In, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, Kinski is a whole class of his own. Talented, though. Frozen. Yes, thank you, Francis. That was the name of the ski lift movie. Hey, Internet, Eric here also got it, Frozen. Not to be confused with the other Frozen, yeah. Bob says Frozen, it had Iceman from X-Men in it. I think the only part of that movie I liked was the part with the wolves. Fran says, you know some dumbass rented the wrong Frozen for their kids at some point. Yeah. Poor kids. Oh, they're all excited to see Disney, and instead they get this movie. And they might enjoy it anyways, but I feel like it would be too slow for younger kids. Certain horror movies are too slow for younger kids. The teaser was better than the trailer, and they never went skiing again.
This is sick. Damn it, Hunter. What are you getting us into?
Okay, so just stay behind me, one rung at a time. See? It's easy. You're doing great. Becky, you gotta come up here. Hey, trust me. What was that? Oh my God! Hunter, how do we get down? I don't have a signal.
The water is down there in that bag.
We have 50 feet of rope.
How would you be up that high and not have a signal? I'm just wondering. It feels like you would have more of a signal up there, but I could be mistaken.
I think I can drop myself lower. Okay, I'm gonna jump onto the bag. Hunter, no! Hunter!
Every hour that passes, the weaker we get. If anyone called 911, they'd be here by now. What is it that Dan used to say? If you're scared of dying, don't be afraid to live.
Yeah. Again, you should have just stayed home. None of this would have happened. Okay, where did I leave off? The only Nosferatu I like is Peter. You mean Peter from What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. Great doc about the making of Fitzcarraldo also. That's what happened for me. I saw Scream 3 when I wanted to see scary movie. Instead of two broke girls, is two stuck girls. This is one of those you shouldn't be there to begin with scenarios. Exactly. I bet Russian teams laugh at this trailer. They do some crazy shit on the high buildings. I've seen some of those videos. Already don't care if they both fall. Yeah, it's like one of those movies that works to me. Like that would work as a 22-minute episode of an anthology series. If that, like now you can do, shorter episodes like the 17-minute episodes from like Love, Death, and Robots. That's how this would work, not as a full-length feature film. Like I feel like that's too much time. What if there are tremors down there? Yeah. Then you're knocked off that pole. Like they should have never climbed up there. And I don't like heights, so I would never watch this movie. I'm still a little bit traumatized by that movie. It was Sylvester Stallone and the girl. He was holding her, and her hand slipped out of the glove, and she died. I think that's what happened. That's what I remember, anyways. Anybody remember that movie? What was the Sylvester Stallone movie where he was rock climbing, and then he didn't want to do it again because that girl died, so he didn't want to go rock climbing again? It's like the same movie. I don't remember the name of it, but I just remember Sylvester Stallone dropping somebody because their glove, they slid out of their glove. But I think that's all I have to talk about tonight. Cliffhanger. Thank you. Wait, these are going too fast. Bob said, or they could have been chased up there for some reason. Yeah, they could. And also K&M also said cliffhanger. So two people guess it. K&M and Francis. And Jervis says, if you go to Vegas, get on the high roller wheel. No, I'm not. No, thank you. I live right here in Orlando, and I won't go on the Orlando Eye. I don't like heights. Won't do it. Hey, Internet. Eric here also says cliffhanger with John Lithgow was amazing as villain. John Lithgow is amazing in everything. From Third Rock from the Sun and Buckaroo Banzai and the Adventures in the Fourth Dimension. For the longest time, he was John Bigabooty to me. This film is like Skyscraper with The Rock. Yeah, I do remember that trailer too. That was the only memorable scene, LOL. Yeah, that's true. John Lithgow owned it. All right, let me get out of here because I need to try to get some sleep so I can help out tomorrow. Even though I don't know a lot about pageantry stuff, I will just try to go and assist as best I can. I've never been in a beauty pageant. I've never been to a beauty pageant, so this is the first pageant I will be witnessing. Here, before I go, I will share one more video. It's going to be without audio because I'll get dinged for copyright for the song, but this is my sister and her pageant stuff. And I like the yellow dress because it kind of looks like fire, like the flames. Oh, I have a bunch of more comments. Let me see. Francis says he was also great on Dexter. Speaking of John Lithgow. Eric says, side note, I love Jaws 3. I mentioned I was watching it during your last live stream. Yeah, I told you it was a fun movie, especially if you get to see it in 3D. Did you like K2? I'm not familiar with K2. I remember P2, but not K2. Dan says good night. Tony T says good night, everybody. Bob says good night. Francis says have a great night, all. I'll be sure to watch Bad Ben. Tony Man says night and have fun. And Jervis says Miss America. Yes. So that's what I'll be doing for the next 2 nights, watching Miss America. Okay, and with that, I will say the final good night.
Hey, 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 hey.
turn it